Don't touch it though.
You're unmuted, Eli. There's a bit of a delay on here, but it's going, so.
All right, it is 7:00. We have a quorum, so I'll call this meeting in order. Please join us for the invocation of pledges.
That we could come together and discuss and conduct the business of the city, and we ask that you would place your hand over that and bless these deliberations. We thank you for the moisture that you blessed us with earlier this week, and we ask that you just continue to do that. Please be with all the kids of our community, Lord, as we've discussed the activities they're doing, and ask that you just place your hand over them and protect them and bless them. Thank you again for all you've given us in this community. For it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody here this morning. Thank you for your time this morning. At this time, item 3 is citizens' comments. We'll open the floor to citizen comments. Anybody wishing to speak at this time? All right, hearing none, at this time, citizens' comments is closed. Item 4 is consider and take appropriate action to approve the city council meetings of July 28th special meeting, August 4th special meeting, and August 11th special meetings.
I did not notice any changes that need to be made.
I did not either.
Nor I.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the special meetings of July 28th, August 4th, and August 11th.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion from Don and a second by Brian. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 5 is consider and take appropriate action to approve monthly reports. Good morning, Chief Ryan. We'll just start with you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Last month we had a very busy. Very busy month with the fire department. We had 16 total calls for the month. Truck and equipment maintenance. We had engine testing and ladder testing last month, and engine 2, that pressure relief valve is always going to put on it, failed again. So ladder's supposed to come in and they're supposed to fix it. Engine 3, we had a leak on an 1.5 inch and a big gun up on top, the deck gun up on top, and they're supposed to come in and work on it too. Ladders, all the ladders passed. Brush 1, the passenger side pump needs to be reconfigured so it'll properly circulate. So we're sticking the hose in it right now and making it circulate whenever we're out, and so that's gonna take a little bit of time, but we'll get to it eventually. It's gonna be taking a bunch of stuff apart and putting it back together. Brush bay, the air conditioner's not working, and the rescue truck, the air conditioner doesn't work. Building maintenance, we got yard of the week from the HPO, so that was really neat. Training, we did a hose advancement and dumpster fire training, since we had a bunch of dumpster stuff on the 4th of July, the first drill. July 16th, Roger Close actually came and gave us a class.
Oh, cool.
And which is really neat. It's a very good class. And then the last one of the month we did extrication. We had a vehicle run aside and cut the top off and then put it down, get the patient out. Right now we're sitting at 26 people. 6 of us are probationary, 6 of them are probationary. And then we have the Field of Boot Labor Day weekend. We're gonna try to do a fall festival this year and a rib sale. And I just wanna give credit to all my people up there. They're doing an excellent job. And the fire department is moving forward, and we're not just becoming a team, we're becoming a family.
Hey, Ryan, what did you use? What program did you use for this report?
Jack,
Oh, really? It's a nice report.
It is a great
Yeah.
report.
thank you.
Thank you.
So you can actually tell my wife that too.
Yeah.
Okay, when is your fall festival? Do you know when
You know,
Okay. Will you let me know?
So, I'm gonna ask this is, in, for this, I hope, an informative discussion here. So, an individual called dispatch sometime or another last week, and because they smelled gas in their house,
Yes, sir.
and was looking for someone from the city to come with a gas leak detector and just make sure it was the gas, was it not gas, and was the house safe or whatever. And lo and behold, here comes the fire truck, lights and sirens going on, and just scares the devil out of this person. It was not expecting that. And, you know, we visited, in which I can understand the side of erring on caution to make sure if there is a gas leak that no one's harmed, the house doesn't explode and all this kind of stuff. But is there no, I mean, personally, if I know that's gonna happen, I ain't calling.
Okay.
I'll deal with it myself. Is there not another way to get someone from the city to come in and check for a gas leak in a house?
So, Mr. Buchanan, if you don't mind me jumping on that one. So
Please.
that has to do with dispatch and how that stuff's, the priority on how they put that out. I was made aware of that, and I have a plan to talk with dispatch and start working through that. Ideally, obviously, you kind of want both, but there is an order of
Sure.
operations, and so that's what we're working on. But
Right, and like I say, I explained that, you know, what if it had been a gas leak? What if the heater had set off the gas leak? I mean, there's always precautions, so I understand, but just, the person was unaware and kinda shaken.
And I'd really like to have my guys, if they're gonna go in and check for a gas leak in an SCBA, that way, you know, if it is bad, that we don't have people going down inside the structure.
Sure.
I don't think in the past that's really been the procedure.
Well, I've never heard of it before anyway.
So it's probably just a little,
I think it was just an, I don't want to say oversight, but I think it just dispatch got the order of operations backwards is all, most likely, but I haven't had a
or
chance
you don't
to-
know what
I
somebody
haven't had a chance to
says.
talk with them yet. Correct, what the 911 caller
Yeah.
says, so. But this was just brought up to us yesterday, so if you'll give me a couple days to get with the right people, we'll get it sorted, but that's kind of where that's at.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right, Chief, we'll jump over to you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning. It looks like for animal control, we got about 15 calls for service. Code enforcement, roughly about 80. Police department, just short of 90 calls for service. This time we have 2 full-time officers. We have a couple of applicants still pending on their background right now. And then we'll have a third officer full-time starting next week.
How do you go about backgrounding?
Well, I mean, there's several things that are required, things where you gotta go through DPS, criminal history checks. Of course, all the references, we have to follow up on all those, prior history, work history. We follow up with those employers, employees, coworkers and stuff like that. It's pretty
A lot.
extensive, yeah.
And that's good, it should be. How long is that process?
It really just depends on the work history and the age of the applicant, you know, more references, more, coworkers, history. So, it really just depends on that. It usually takes about 2 to 4 weeks.
So you're pleased with these 2 applicants? You're just vetting them?
Yeah, I mean, as so far so good, I haven't heard hit too many red flags, so.
Because if you didn't want to hire them, you wouldn't even do that, right?
Usually if there's some red flags right off the bat or whatever, there's lots of disqualifiers immediately, so, we lose a lot of applicants pretty quickly.
I know it's just gotta be hard on y'all, being short.
Yeah, it's a process.
How was the start of the school deal with back to school? I mean, everything runs smooth?
Everything went pretty well, smooth. Of course, we're gonna have more calls, cause, dealing with the young drivers. And then, we got new superintendent, principal, students getting acclimated to the new process of new rules, or the old rules of actually being enforced, I guess, now.
That's what I hear.
Shocker.
Let me say.
Okay. Okay.
Is this the first prostitution one you've had since you've been here?
I was wondering who else gonna come up. It is for Spearman, I mean, it's been a while, I guess, but Spearman does have some history there, but.
That was kind of a shocker
it's-
for us.
Yeah,
To
it's.
see that on there.
It's pending, that'll be up to the DA whether or not they're gonna accept the charges or not.
I didn't even see that. Wow.
Okay.
Come on, you gotta get with this.
Well, I'm not looking into stuff like that too much. That's James's job.
Any other questions?
No.
All right, thank you, sir.
How's the ACO doing? Are you pleased?
PCO, yeah, actually, those calls have gone down significantly. He's usually, pretty thorough as far as, follow-ups on calls, involving, dogs. He usually got fed a week ago, I guess, but,
Yeah.
he decided to come back, so.
When people know you're working on them, they seem to do a little better.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Miss Bonnie?
Okay, regarding EDC, so we continue to send out monthly newsletters, the first Monday of the month. So for September, the 7th is gonna fall on Monday, so it'll go out on Tuesday. We're going to discuss and hopefully finalize in September the tuition agreement document so that we can start putting that into process. I contacted Bows and Arrows yesterday, and they're going to pay their balance sometime this week, and then they will be done. I contacted Piglet yesterday and spoke to her for a long time, so we've got a plan in place for that one. Gordon's Fountain paid off their balance yesterday, so they are done. The flower shop, we're not moving forward with that at this time with the 2 owners that were interested. Roland Mechanical, I talked to Ayana yesterday, they're waiting on a concrete bid, so that is, they may or may not be meeting with Spencer and coming to EDC for financial assistance. They're waiting around on that. We uploaded an informational sheet that included utilities, medical information, financial institutions, restaurants, and churches up on our both websites. There's a high ground meeting October 21st and 22nd in Canyon that I will attend. The September meeting is September the 8th at 10. I've talked to Lily's about the parking lot. She owns her boutique and Piglets, about wanting to fix the parking lot that's in front of her business. She's waiting on a bid, and then she'll come and talk to me about a possible facade, so we can work on that. And then I will contact Ruth with the rest of that, because the rest of that she owns. Let's see, chamber business, we have a meeting tomorrow at 11:30 at Gordon's. Still working on follow-up visits after postcards were mailed out. Continuing to gather rental and sell contacts for the website. We are having a lot of people go on our website, so I think that's good where rental property is listed. We had a coloring contest and Marlo Roberts won the 4th through 7th grade, and Maddie Diaz won the kindergarten through 3rd. And and they both will receive a basket of school supplies. The back-to-school bash was a success. We may end up going back to the high school next year and using the parking lot for food trucks and kind of doing a tailgate, and then going back to the field for meet and links. We had a little bit of issues with the trailer, so that's it for me, unless you have any questions.
Have any questions? All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right, Public Works, Mr. Steven.
All right, so this month, couple reports that, we had to submit, or one report that we submitted was the P5 report to the Railroad Commission. That is, the number of, like gas main leaks that we either fix or that we haven't fixed yet. That comes off of our, annual leak report, or our annual leak survey. This year's survey, we only had 3 leaks that were detected, so, I submitted that for, and it's a biannual report that we do every year, so if there's nothing, even if there's 0, we have to submit 0, so. I did that, and then, we also submitted the second public notice for our renewal for our wastewater permit. It's in the, local paper, this week, or last week's paper, I believe on Thursday. Something we have to do for TCEQ. Also, going with our gas project, I think we'll plan our next one for, I think, cooler temperature, well, a little cooler. We had little issues with the heat in our machine, and our equipment. It would fail because the temperatures were higher than it could handle, apparently, so we're gonna wait a little bit. Maybe the temperatures will cool down and we'll get more efficient work, our equipment will work better, I guess.
So Stephen, are you gonna attempt the gas project south of 11th between now and
Yes.
winter? Between now and winter?
Yeah.
Okay. I just had some people very concerned about that.
Yeah, I
So-
understand. It will be before, obviously we're not waiting until wintertime. We don't ever want to have gas
Sure.
off for any amount of time when the temperatures drop. We just can't have 100 plus degree temperatures. Our equipment just, it doesn't work very long. It obviously overheats.
Nothing works very long in 110 degree weather.
But
What's the concern?
We're just being
Winter?
off. Yep, just
yeah, being off and
Yep,
no,
just-
we
just,
never. I mean, the only time we've ever done any kind of a gas project in the wintertime is on an emergency situation where we've had no other choice, and even then we try to make a temporary fix as often as possible and get to where it's more favorable for the customer. So. But yes, I understand those concerns, so no, we're not, also, been working on our streets, getting a lot of the weeds. There's still some problem areas, but it has gotten a lot better than it was. Been spraying almost every morning when the temperatures are favorable for that. So it's looking better. The guys have been out there even after the temperatures have been getting, it's been miserable for them, but they've been out there working on that too. So, but we've also lost our summer help, so we're down. We got one left, I believe, seasonal workers. One of them went back to school, and the other one went back to college. So,
I noticed y'all were doing some, had the skid steer doing some dirt removal.
yeah, doing some dirt
major
removal.
areas.
Some of the gutters have gotten. That also helps out the street sweeping as well, getting some of them heavier deposits of dirt and stuff in the areas. And then also, same thing, the street sweeper's been on his same schedule, trying to make everything, look better. So, and it's been kind of a slow month. We've had some, well, say it's been slow. We've had some water leaks. We've had a couple of them that were extended. One of them took till 3 a.m. It started out kind of small, but went kind of lengthy. And it wasn't nothing major, but it just, with an aging system, and things kind of happen, so. But they got it, they took care of it, everything's backfilled and looks, as normal as possible, so.
Speaking of water, I mean, how are we? I mean, I take it we're pretty good as far as the temperature and water consumption,
Haven't any
production.
issues, haven't had any production issues with the wells, everything's, so far, has been good,
Yeah, exactly.
so.
Okay. Are we still running in that 1.2, or, I mean?
Yeah, we're still running about
range?
1.2 million a day, yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Any questions, council? Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. All right, admin, we'll jump over to admin.
So we've still been working on the audits. Travis had an appointment in Amarillo last Wednesday, so he stopped by the office and he believes that we've given them everything that they're gonna possibly need for 2023. So hopefully that year's done and we can move forward. Last week, Jamie and I also met with the TML risk pool, our new rep. He came out and just showed us some different things that we can do, like safety-wise, and how to utilize the website more. I've been working on open enrollment for insurance, and pretty much I've got everybody caught up on their annual cybersecurity training. So that's what I've done.
And that cybersecurity, that pertains to council too, correct? If they use any type of,
It's if they use any kind of like computer or laptop or anything that's connected to our server.
okay.
I guess any city issued device is what it would be.
Okay.
But y'all can take it if y'all want. It's a short video.
Okay. Anything else? Do you have any questions? Thank you, ma'am. All right, I would entertain a motion to approve monthly reports.
I so move.
I'll second.
Got a motion from Roger and a second from Grace to approve the monthly reports. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 6 is consider and take appropriate action to approve monthly financials. On the cash position, Jamie, we talked a little bit about, like our money markings deal, and I wanted to visit with council to see if that was better use for our money to put that in a CD or for higher interest, or is it non-eventful? What would you think, Ryan?
Yes, obviously, if you're not gonna need it.
I didn't know, what we, I know we have it there for liquidate, and I didn't know how much we pull and put back into that, if that's something that council would like to see.
Yeah,
staff.
as you're saying, and Brian knows better than anybody, there's issues with in and out.
Correct,
Of course,
yes.
if you buy a CD, there's frankly none, but yeah, I just don't know how often you use it either.
So, I was just thinking, any way to maximize, the return on that.
You could ask this, how many months of operations is 204,000?
About one.
Yeah.
According to our payroll.
So that'd historically be a little tight.
Okay.
The other option there that I had some discussions with other members, I know historically y'all have also tried to even out the CDs there. It may also be a good time to I don't know what the official term would be, but to roll off and even out those CDs back to that 100,000, to where we basically have enough. Where I'm getting at is we could make another CD to where we're much closer to essentially having a CD that's coming up every month. We could be liquid pretty fast, is where I'm getting at with that. So then, and then that could also help us make with that decision there on should that capital savings be more of a some other type of vehicle to make better money than just that money market. Because the council and the city has done some good work over the years to have that position in those CDs. So if we even those out again and put in another CD, we're a little bit better for cash on hand. We're still in a safe spot in there.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what y'all's thoughts were on that, so. If you want Tim to look into that and bring us back some information, so we're.
So Jamie, you're saying on the CDs, you would like to get them all at 100,000, take the earnings, I assume that's earnings,
Yes, sir.
and buy another CD with earnings?
Yes, that's my recommendation. Yes, 'cause based on historically what the city has done, keeping those CDs at about 100,000, that also gives us that option again to where we have yet another CD, so we can get a little bit higher yield, and we still have almost every month we have something that's maturing to the point where if we know we're having a problem, we just know that we may have to, rather than renew that CD, we just cash it.
So
and
there's
use
a
it.
couple of gaps in your ladder
Yeah, I see
from
that.
Yeah,
6 to
build
9,
some of those
It's
June to
months.
September, and then November to February. And yeah, I like that. It's a good thought.
What is the situation on insurance on all these funds?
These are subject to pledging
Okay,
above the 250
okay,
insurance.
okay.
So you
And
could
so
do-
the bank puts money back.
Okay.
So you could go ahead and do one now for August and get one done for August. If that's what someone wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now, is this something that we don't do bids or whatever, we just roll it into another, take it into another city?
There
That's
is a
correct.
bid. There is a bid that governs this.
Okay,
Yeah. A depository bid.
okay.
And Brian, is there a penalty if you were to need one of these out of the ladder? Or multiple of these?
Well, if you get to the complete ladder, the point he's making is you're only 30 days away from the next one coming up if
Right.
you need it.
Right,
If you do need multiple, then yeah, there probably is a penalty.
okay.
And one of the things that we could do as well, more what I'm thinking is, rather than try, plus it would take a little bit because it's not just as fast as going to the bank and making it happen. I don't think we'd make a CD that we'd be able to do for this August, but what we could do, and again, I'd have to figure out what the best way to do it, but as these CDs mature, capping them at the 100,000, and that money may sit briefly, say, in that money market or in the savings account until we get to that point to where we can do it and make a new CD in that proper timeline so that we have that 30-day plan that we're talking about. Because I would hate to just say take whatever hit we would so that each of those would go down to 100,000. That wouldn't be a smart plan. So this would basically be, essentially a year-long plan to sit there and hit those as they come mature, save them up until we get to that point where we can start making the new CDs. Again, if the council's comfortable with that, and then we can start to figure out what that would actually look like. I'm sure I can put something together to show what that would look like, and we could, with timing and how that would come off, and then when we would have the ability to make the new CDs, and then what that would look like a year from now.
So you're saying like roll it off into like a money market or something at the time?
Correct, something that we
Yeah,
could
yeah,
legally hold that money into. We have other, it's a little different than yours or my personal account. We have rules here for the city, but yes, whatever would allow us to, as that mature, so this next one, that's September 1, if we were gonna do that, renew that one at 100,000, and so that 17,000 and change would probably go into our savings, or if it could go into that money market, whatever would be the best bet for us at the time. And then once we have that amount to make that next CD at that next point is when we would do that. And there could be the ability, like, because where this first started off was on whether, say, our capital stuff for those police cars and the trucks, should it be a money market or should it be its own CD? That one, we could, as those mature, like say that September one, when it comes in, we're almost at 100,000 right there. We could make a new CD pretty much right away if we wanted to. Turn that into a CD. I'm sorry, not make a new CD, but turn that one into a CD, and then basically we're doing that same kind of thing as each of those matures.
Is that third one in March, that second one, is that a 9-month CD? Like it says?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, I just noticed that we had two in March there, so.
And we can verify it, and we'll make sure what those.
I was just trying to get an idea to maximize, our reserves as much as we could, so.
Absolutely.
You could actually start, as one of y'all said, with take 100 out of that money market for August. And then come September, like he started, you put the 17 in there and build it back up. And probably by December, January, you can fill that gap.
Most likely, yeah. It's one of those things, I would want to talk, obviously, a little bit at the bank with where our money markets, or excuse me, where the CDs are actually at, and then come up with that best plan that makes the city the best advantage without putting us in any kind of danger.
I like it. Okay.
So I'll start working on and bring it back to the council unless, yeah, I think on that one, on that date, or I don't know, Mayor, I'd ask, do we need any kind of official direction for right now? Because some of the stuff is coming up sooner rather than later. Do we want to do that, or I could get some information, send it around to the council, and we can do information before then?
I think
You have our guidance.
You have our guidance, and in your role capacity, you have that. So.
And that's what I'll do, and I'll just, like I said, my marching orders, though, I won't do anything that's going to cost us any money. We'll get these in such a way that better protects our position. So.
Okay. Any questions on the payables?
I didn't have any. Did y'all, Roger?
I don't.
Roger, do you have anything?
Do we have anything that shows like where we're at on budget-wise for the total, everything, income, expenses, and where we're at,
So
total number?
So if you look at our revenue, we're sitting about 25% of the budget, and if you look at the expense, we're sitting about 23%. So dollar-wise, we're pretty close in that market, even though our revenues are down because of the gas sales. But if you take those two numbers and look at them, we're within, we've kind of matched our expenses, to say, at the current setting. Because on page 2 of the revenue one, we're sitting about 25% of total revenue. And then on page 11, on the last page of the expenses, you can see that we're sitting about at 23% of the total report of what we had budgeted and where we sit at the physical activity.
And the dollar amounts are right there beside that.
Correct. And I know it's a challenge.
But this water's gonna catch up.
Well, right, some of that, but then there also is those things that, there's some bigger ticket items that are in that haven't been spent, so that, that total number is not, what am I trying to say? It's not that it's unfavorable, it's just, it's not the number that's there, because there's lots of things that are in the budget. Like, for instance, the ESCA Park, that's not gonna get spent this year. There's $300,000 total dollars in the budget on revenue and expenses that make those numbers look higher. It's a lower number, but the percentages are closer to accurate. I mean, from what the mayor was saying, that's an accurate statement. It's just that number in that column where it has that, the variance, that's not our actual position probably.
And the other part of that too is there's the revenues too that's not on there too that coincide with what you're
Correct.
saying. So did that answer your question, Roger?
Yeah, I was just looking, I just knew one time when we were working on, I guess it was budgets or something like that, we had one at the very last page had everything on there together, and I guess that was just what I was looking at.
There's probably that page in the software somewhere.
It is, and it's that one page that it sometimes, if not checked right, it throws that
Correct,
municipal
yeah.
garage in there twice.
There's
you
a
know.
34-page version of this that we use internally a lot that has that, and is part of what was in during the budget workshops that we had, that gets a lot more, I'd say accurate on where we are today, but even then it's still sometimes fuzzy math based on how those revenues have been.
All right. Any other questions, council?
No.
I'd move we approve the monthly financials.
My second.
All right, I got a motion from Brian, a second from Rogers to approve the monthly financials. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Item 7 is consider and take necessary action to award bids for bulk fuel. This is our annual bulk fuel solicitation for fuel. So
Okay, so we posted the notice on the 28th of July, and they were due Friday at 5 o'clock. We received, the first one is from Equity, Harrington Equity. For regular, or for unleaded, they're doing .1250 over the rack, and they're doing the same figure for dyed diesel and clear diesel. There's no bid for aviation. And then from Golden Spread and Spearman, they're doing .244 over the rack for aviation.
So they went down.
Only.
Last year's .25.
So we ended up with this, the
Yeah,
one
just
bidder
those
that
two.
only put in for the vehicle fuels and the one bidder that put in for aviation fuel.
Which I think is typical of what we've
Mhm.
done.
The last 2 years, yep.
yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. And those are the only response you had? I mean, no one else? Okay.
Yeah, nobody else.
Any questions, council?
What were those changes from prior year? Remember?
Last year, it was, Equity was 10 cents and Golden Spread was 25. That's what I was saying, Golden Spread went down, Equity went up.
Okay. Not that it mattered, I was just curious.
So those only two bids make it a done deal?
Well, if you approve it, yes. I
Okay.
mean, if you.
Well, I mean, I just didn't.
Yeah, awarded to how they're bid.
Comparable to last year, so.
I'd entertain a motion to approve it if y'all so choose, to accept the bids.
Make a motion, we accept the bids.
I'll second.
Got a motion from Roger and a second from Grace to award bids as submitted, Equity for unleaded and diesel and dyed, and Golden Spread for avgas. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Alright, item 8, city manager report. Mr. Piper?
Mayor and council, so Ms. Sharp already talked about the audit update. For what I have for my update this month, obviously, we've been doing a lot on the budget workshops. We have the upcoming next week, the public budget hearing, and then the potential action item to approve the budget at that next meeting. I've also, this month, been assisting the EDC board a lot, and the different, and chamber and council, as you know, with the EDC. Been working, even though, those that actually are watching from home that may have seen a little hiccup at the beginning, we have been working more on the live stream stuff, trying to keep it a little more professional and in line with our other social media stuff as far as the comments and moderation there. I have a couple meetings this week. Also, I guess Mr. Parker was previously there, and they asked, so I'm going to be serving on a solid waste advisory committee. So I'll be doing that. I believe that one's today, later on Zoom, if not tomorrow. And then the other thing that I had in the last week or so and moving forward that we're going to have, so we proved, not that it was a big deal, but approved the proof for the sign for the Parks Department for the ESCA Park. So there'll be a coming soon, or I think it just mentions the grant actually, that'll go up at ESCA Park. I also had a meeting with PRPC and one subject matter expert just to get some information on playground availability on equipment. But our next step moving forward is actually going to be I need to schedule up a stakeholder meeting so that we can get some input on what we're looking for in that park, and then try and tie that back to what we have that'll fit obviously within the budget, but that's kind of the next step. So that's something that our office will be scheduling soon to get that stakeholder meeting and get some ideas on what we actually want, and not just a vendor's idea of like an inclusive playground, right? We try and tailor it a little bit for what our needs here are in town. And that's what I have on my list right now. That's my report, Mayor.
Any questions, council? Okay.
Would you tell us, when are we meeting next week, please?
So August 25th at 0700 for the budget hearing.
Thank you.
And then the other one is the September 1 for the setting the tax rate.
And while we're talking about, I was going to ask council is if since we have so many of these meetings, and then I'm going to be out on our regular 15th, if y'all would entertain moving that back a week to the 22nd of September for our regular council meeting, since it won't affect any of our settings of our budget or tax hearing, if that's something y'all.
On which one?
On our regular meeting, which normally is the 15th, if we could move that to the 22nd. If that's
September the 15th?
is the normal one, yeah, and I would like to see if that was okay with y'all to push that to the 22nd.
Fine with me.
Didn't bother me any.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Thank
how
you.
does it affect the administration?
22nd?
We're fine, we
Yep,
can make
I'm
that
out.
work.
I don't know, like getting bills paid and all that kind of stuff.
Shouldn't be,
Okay.
I'm out, but if you have a quorum, that's fine.
Okay. We'll check with Frank, we'll check, visit, see if that fits, so, okay. And then my next question is, doing, budget adjustments year end. What is our plan on that? Are we looking at, you know, pushing, does that give you, if we move that back to the 22nd, did that give you enough time?
Yes, sir, hopefully.
Okay.
I mean, yes, the short answer is yes. We've been focused so much on the upcoming budget, but yeah, especially with an extra week to work with, it should make all of that quite easy, and then we can have that discussion, and then council can weigh in on any budget adjustments that need to happen.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. Item 9, council request for future items. Any items council wishing to put on the agenda for next? $1 million? Roger?
I do not.
Grace at this time? Brian?
No,
Okay. All right, thank you, staff. Thank y'all for coming. So, having no more items on the agenda, item 10 is adjournment. I move to adjourn. Thank you, sir.
Love these short meetings.
That's what I'm talking about.
One for the other 6.